What's the deal with snacks? Hi, in case you're new to this channel, I'm Slick Nick, your personal keto bro. I'm not a doctor, not a dietitian, not a nutritionist, not a personal trainer. None of those things. And I'm not interested in being some kind of professional. I'm the opposite of professional. I'm just a random guy in Tennessee approaching my 40th birthday in less than 2 months. And I really want to reach my goal of 17% body fat. Being able to wear a size medium t-shirt without the bottom sticking out like a dress. That's important to me. That inspires me. Now you know what my goals are. You know how I think. Let's talk about snacks. So, I've told you before who I watch on YouTube. Even though I'm a YouTuber, yes, I watch other YouTubers. Thomas DeLauer, Autumn Bates, Dr. Burry. And yes, I've seen the documentaries on Amazon Prime, Fat and Fat Fiction. One of the things that they'll all point out is that when you're on keto, you're not eating snacks. You're compressing your amount of time that you eat to a smaller window every day, keeping your insulin from spiking the majority of the time, meaning that you cannot store fat the majority of the day by default, and you're by default minimizing your calories. And by default, you are putting yourself in a situation when you do work out, you go on a 2 or 3 mile walk every day like I do, you're at the gym for an hour a day, 6 days a week like I am, your body is being forced to rely on that hunger, or not the hunger hormone, the growth hormone, and instead avoiding the hunger hormone, which is ghrelin, which is caused when you have carbohydrates in your insulin spikes, and then you get even hungrier, which is why fat's the opposite. Fat keeps you from being hungry, carbs make you hungrier. Carbs make you store fat, fat keeps you from storing fat. It's interesting what an obvious paradox this is. Let's talk about snacks though. Keto people don't eat snacks. Most of us have 2 meals a day, 2 real meals a day. I mean, we may have the keto coffee in the morning time, but I mean, there's no insulin spiking because it's either some butter or it's MCT oil, which is pure fat, so there's no insulin spiking. And then not eating till at least 2, like for me, what time is it now? It's 2:52 and I haven't had a meal yet. I've only had my coffee, that's it. I will be eating right after I finish shooting this video because the battery on my camera will finally be dead, but I'll finally eat then. And then I'm not going to eat after 7. So imagine if you're eating just 2 meals. A, you don't have time for snacks, and B, I've got to fit in a certain amount of fat and protein in those 2 meals. And by doing that, fat and protein are the things that fill you the most to keep you from being hungry. They have leptin in them, like the mushrooms in my salad, leptin. So it causes the satiating hormone, basically. It keeps you from being hungrier. So it's so much paradoxes working in my favor instead of against my favor. So I don't have time for snacks. For me, and I'm not saying this about other people, I'm saying for me, this is how I perceive it. I would feel like I'm weak-minded at this point if I would need a snack, because it's ultimately implying I'm not doing keto right if I have to depend on a snack. I mean, granted, yes, when I break my fast in a minute, I'm gonna have 2 ounces of kimchi, I'm gonna have a huge bowl of salad, and I'm gonna have 3 eggs, and I'm gonna have a serving, which is like 1/4 cup of mixed nuts. Then you could say, well, okay, the mixed nuts are a snack. Well, to me, they're not. They're part of my actual meal. It's to balance my fat, to make sure I have plenty more fat, twice as much fat as protein, knowing that dinner will be coming up in a few hours, and I'll be having some Indian chicken. It's this high-fat sauce, with cream in it, and then I've got chicken breast. And then I'll have my yogurt. So when it's all said and done, twice as much fat, half as much protein, less than 50 carbs in a day. But can you imagine, just based on what I just described, how would I have time or room for snacks when you compress your calories into a window? Now, granted, I do the 19-5. I'm not eating for 19 hours a day, and I'm only eating 5 hours a day. There's no time or room for snacks. This helps keep me accountable to making sure I'm not overeating. So for me, I am making sure that my calories are under 2,000, but it's not that hard now that I know how to do it. For me, it's a matter of just avoiding overeating. And ultimately, if I were needing snacks, it would imply that I was undereating on keto. Your comments belong right here.